and welcome. It's me, Persita, and this is Persita's Paradox. So today, let's get right into it. Relationships, life, things can all cause us to feel as if when someone decides to help us in any form or fashion, we find ourselves in a position of being so grateful that we lose sight of what actually happened. Now you might say, what do you mean? What are you trying to say? Indebtedness to people is the biggest faux pas that I could possibly say out loud that will mess up all of the rest of your blessings in life. Now you might say, well, what do you mean? I mean, if someone's helping you, isn't that a wonderful thing? And don't you feel great about it? Sure. But there's a very tricky place between someone helping you and you understanding that the person that's helping you is being guided by your destiny, your spirit, your God, who's advising them to do it. Otherwise, you will find yourself completely in a position of being indebted to them. There's also the case where people will do things as a manipulation of sorts. So you're like, oh my God, that's amazing how you're like really coming through and you're helping me and they're calling and they're making sure things are okay. And they're actually not doing it with at all a great intention to do anything more, but to make you feel indebted. So if you catch what I'm saying, you can either cause yourself to be indebted to a person who's helping you, or the person can manipulate you into indebtedness. Now, let's go further in indebtedness. To be indebted to someone is to basically lean on that person and to say that because they've done something so great for me, I must always be loyal and stand with this person. That grows weary on everything you're doing if you don't pay attention to what is actually happening. Now, you might say, well, what do you mean? Sometimes a person will literally throw it in your face. And they'll be the type of person to say, hey, I can't believe you're not helping me. I mean, when you were down, I helped you. Well, didn't you want to help me? And if you didn't want to help me, is throwing something up in my face actually what I want to hear from you? Or does that make sense? Is that love? Plethora of questions. In the exact same breath, a person can put you in a position of making you feel as if you can never walk away from them. And you might say, well, what do you mean? Well, I mean, you've never had someone in your life do something for you and they continuously, indirectly, subliminally always make it sound like something like this. Well, I know you got my back because I always got yours. Or, I've been with you through the test of time, so I know that we're going to do all of our stuff together. And as long as we're a team and we're together, that's all manipulation. You might say, oh my God, Persita, I mean, like, how would that be manipulation? Well, let me tell you how. In life, we have to be aware of people who have only gotten so far in their lives to certain stages and phrases and times. Now, you might say, well, what exactly do you mean? In order to be super successful, and what I mean by super successful is we all have a level of success that we can accomplish on our own level. But there comes a time and place where you actually have to team up with someone to really become great. You'll know when that time is because you will feel as if your back is up against the wall and there's absolutely nothing else that you can do for yourself by yourself. At that point in time is where you need to understand that is the gods explaining to you, you must team up with something and someone. In that stage is typically where we make the worst decisions on who we're bringing into our circle. Some of those people that see that and recognize it in you will cause you to be indebted. And what the indebtedness means is that some people want to be a part of your team because they want to piggyback on you. They see that you're moving. They want to do as little as possible to make you feel as if everything they did was monumental and you wouldn't be able to do it without them. Yes. But in the exact same breath, there are people who actually see your goals with you and they can see your vision with you and they want you to get to where you want to be. So they're never in a position of keeping score. They're not about telling you, I did this and you should do this for me. It's just a completely different tone. And if you think hard, you can actually differentiate the people in your lives that fit into those two categories. One is continuously telling people in some form or another, picture, conversation, gossip, how much they do for you. The other person says absolutely nothing. You wouldn't even know that they're helping you because it's not about that for them. You have to recognize those types of people, because indebtedness will cause you to believe that the person did it, not understanding that God himself gave the person the direction to do it. Now you might say, okay, Priscilla, now you're getting a little spiritual. No, that's just fact. There are things and times and places that you'll do things for people you don't even know. And you'll say, oh, I just really felt like I wanted to do it. That felt like that you're discussing is what I mean by God himself is going to come down and put favor in your life. Favor is not fair. So there's no way for you to really recognize what it is unless you understand that it's not the person that you're praising. So the indebtedness is not to the individual who's helped you. The indebtedness is to God himself, who is then giving them the direction to do it. Now, again, if you do not believe in a spiritual being, then this is not going to make any sense to you. But for those of you who do, I need you to understand it is a huge, huge phenomenon right now. And I say phenomenon loosely. But it is a huge scenario in most people's lives right now where people are taking credit for things that were already in you. What am I saying? The indebted people, the manipulational type person, is actually taking credit for things that you have already been instructed to do because they know that you want to accomplish the goal. But then I can go through and say, well, here's the other angle. If you're in a position where you're no holds barred and you're just trying to get somewhere and you don't really care who helps you, you just want to get there, you will find yourself attracting more opportunist people. And those opportunist people are the first group of people that we talked about, the manipulators. They're just going to jump on and give you what it is that you need because they know that in the end, they can manipulate you to be loyal and indebted to them. I see so many of my friends telling me that they're hanging around people or being in people's faces or accepting things from people no matter what the cost because they want what they want when they want it. And the key is to be patient enough, arm itching today, to actually wait for your time to be where you need to be. And being aware of the individuals that you are allowing in your space. All money ain't good money. You've heard that term? All money ain't good money. And time does not dictate success. Just because you've been around someone or they've been in your life for 2-3 years, just because when you were down, they were there and they helped you, doesn't mean that that person is going with you. It doesn't mean that they are destined for your destiny long term. It could be a season. But if you're in an opportunity of your mindset to say, I do not want to wait, and I'm ready, and this person can help me, I promise you, you're going to attract the manipulational, indebted person, and you're going to be upset because they're going to take you down. You're not going to win. They're going to take you down. Now, the indebtedness that you feel, I feel like from a person like myself, who I feel like I'm extremely loyal to people, but that has bitten me in the butt. Because someone's helped me and I've said, oh my gosh, when I was down, they were amazing. And I really want to make sure that when I go up that I bring them with me. That might not be the case. And just because they helped does not mean that they're needing to go with you. Again, it's a season. But if you catch what I'm saying, if I don't really have my groundedness in what I'm already supposed to be doing, if I'm not grounded in what God has already called me to do, then guess what? I'm going to fall susceptible to that, and it's going to be a little crazy. And I'm going to be the unbelievable word of indebted to said person, not what they've done, but to the person. I can talk about this subject forever, and I'm sure I've rambled, and I hope that I have made enough points for you to understand that you are not indebted to anybody on the planet but yourself. The only person that you must remain loyal to is yourself first. Once you're loyal to you, you can pick up on all of the innuendos and all of the games and manipulations that people play. And you can differentiate the difference between the person who is actually there and they don't want the accolade against the person who's going to hold you hostage. No matter what they do, no matter how they treat you, no matter where they are in their life, they're going to continuously come back with, you can't leave me because you've not paid me back. And when you were down, I was there for you and you really need to be there for me. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Keep your mind right. Stay grounded in self-concept. Be aware of everything that goes on within you and what God says you are. Not what people say you are, but who does God say you are? And move from that place. So today, let's just affirm that you are not indebted to any person. Nobody. Nobody. Thank you again so much for listening to me. I greatly appreciate your time. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button. Always do what you need to do to stay on top of these videos. Thank you again. Remember to do 3 things. Live life authentic. I'm going to add another word today. By any means necessary. I made that one word. It's a hashtag. By any means necessary. Thank you again, and have a blessed day.